Earlier this year, Mattel made changes to a lot of its Thomas toy lines to coincide with the new All Engines Go series. One of the lines affected by these changes was the recently rebranded Motorized line. The track system and train mechanics remained pretty much the same, except now the engines were designed after the new show instead of the previous CGI series. A while back, I came across one of the new sets in this new toy line, this set being the Lift Thomas and Skiff set. It was on clearance and I figured I could make good use of some of the pieces included, so I picked it up. But since I had no immediate use for the set, I put it away and it just sat for a while. But then, just the other day, I found this launch and loop maintenance yard set. I remembered being really excited for this set when it was first revealed online, so I couldn't pass it up. While I was buying it though, I couldn't help but think about the lift bridge set that I still hadn't opened. And that's when I came up with the idea of making a review on both of these sets together. And so, that's where I am right now. Welcome everyone to my motorized All Engines Go double set review. If you haven't figured it out already, in this video I'll be reviewing the All Engines Go Motorized Lift Thomas and Skiff and Launch and Loop Maintenance Yard sets. I'll start off with the smaller bridge lift set. The set comes in a big box with lots of bold letters and bright colors to catch your attention. On the front of the box, we can see a special animated image showing the set in action. We can also see an overhead image of the real set put together, claiming it's 3.5 feet in length, and we get to see the two characters included in this set, which are contained from the outside of the box. The characters included are an exclusive motorized Thomas engine, which is encased in a plastic bubble, sitting on one of the set's curved track pieces. It also includes a push-along skiff, who isn't encased in anything, and is held to the box by just one zip tie. The back of the box gives a detailed overview of the full set, with a graph showing all 20 pieces inside the box. There's also a description for the set which seems to be based off of the All Engines Go episode, Skiff Sails Sodor, implying that the whole set was based on that episode. There isn't much to say for the rest of the box. The sides have little character pictures, and the bottom has all the safety and licensing information so you know it's a real Thomas product, and that little graph of Thomas climbing the product barcode. Upon opening the box where it says Open Here, you're greeted by an image of the main 5 characters and a message from Thomas himself. That's all there is to the box. Now let's build the set. So here is the completed set. The instructions were printed in color and are easy to understand. But of course, like any other Thomas set, there were stickers to apply, and I botched them up in some way or another. The set itself forms a simple figure 8 layout and is a good size for a starter set. The main focus of this set is the lift bridge, which can move up and down by a lever on the bridge's side. The bridge sits high enough for engines like Thomas to pass under it, but Skiff's mast is too tall for it, and so you must lift the bridge before he can pass through. The bridge is colored in a dark red, and resembles Quick Draw Bridge from the All Engines Go series. The set also includes this odd billboard that presents a still image from the episode Thomas Blasts Off. This billboard sits across the track from a boat dock, and is supposed to convey the fact that this dock is Brendam Docks. While the picture does show Brendam Docks, there could have been much better ways to portray the docks. For example, a promo of the docks on the billboard, or even a different screen cap from the show. And instead of portraying the dock itself as a small wooden dock, I would have made it a little bigger and have given it a concrete look, rather than the wooden fishing dock this set went with. Another strange piece in this set is this brown colored straight track. I can only assume that this piece is a re-railer. For those who don't know, a re-railer is a tool that model railroaders use to put their trains on the track, as it can sometimes be difficult to do it by hand. For older fans, putting a motorized train on the tracks seems fairly easy, but for a really young fan, it might be rather difficult. So this piece makes the process much easier by making it to where you just drop Thomas inside the piece, and that's it. he's ready to go. The piece is also colored brown to resemble a boat dock to go with the set's ocean theme. While it is a shame this isn't a normal straight piece, I guess it is nice that the set makers thought of the really young fans. One more strange detail that I don't understand are all the green track pieces. I understand the gray ones because motorized track was gray from the start to resemble real tracks. But why the green ones? Were they trying to match the green grass from the show? I didn't come to watch trains run on the grass, but then again, they do it anyway. Some smaller inclusions in this set are the stop and go lever, and the switch with the buffers at the end of them, which you can take off and then use the switch to expand your track. Now let's talk about the characters included. First off is Thomas, who is the most common character to find in playsets. This Thomas is just like any other All Engines Go Motorized Thomas, except he has some exclusive seagull detailing on his sides as well as an exclusive smiling expression. I've seen a lot of people complain about how the faces are more two-dimensional now, but the 2D faces make it easier to give the characters different expressions, which is something most of us have wanted for a while. Thomas runs just like any other Thomas and navigates through the set rather well. Next up is Skiff. The strange thing about this Skiff is that he's barely any different from the Skiff that was used in the previous versions of the motorized range. The only differences are the slightly softer colors, but more notably, the face. While Skiff kept his three-dimensional face from the CGI series, they gave him irises like he has in the All Engines Go series. And to be honest, it doesn't look right. Skiff's face wears a blank expression, and the new eye printing makes his face look rather creepy. It would have been much more fitting if they gave him a brand new face like the 2D face we see on Thomas now. Some other details given to Skiff are his sail, which lacks the yellow stripes it has in the show, but can rotate 360 degrees. Skiff also has a coupling on his back, so he can be pulled around the set by Thomas. Now let's talk about the price of this set. The retail price is $28. Since this set is still being produced, you can find it for this price in about any store or online retailer. That's not a bad price considering all the things you get. However, I mentioned earlier that I found this set on clearance, so I only ended up paying $22 for it. If you ever find this set going for that much, I'd say go for it. It's a nice little set with a decent amount of play value that'll please any young Thomas fan, and some of the pieces could come in handy for the sets of older Thomas fans too. That's almost everything I have to say about this set, but before I move away from it, I need to address one glaring fact that I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for me to bring up. The fact is that this set is a rehash. In 2021, Motorized produced a set called Lift Thomas and Skiff. It contained a CGI Thomas and Skiff and a green drawbridge. Shortly after the set's release, however, All Engines Go began airing on TV, making CGI Thomas no longer relevant. Somebody at Mattel must have really wanted this set to sell, however, because they discontinued the Bridge Lift set, then immediately re-released it with a new design to coincide with the All Engines Go series. The basic layout remained the same in this redesign, with only the majority of the tracks and the bridge being recolored, a new Thomas being included, different stickers, and Skiff receiving a new face print. It's a little odd how they decided to bring this set back, but it wasn't a bad choice. Now then, with the Bridge Lift set covered, it's time to move on to the next big thing. Here is the Launch and Loop Maintenance Yard set. Every year since they acquired the brand, Mattel has created one great big over-the-top playset for their motorized Thomas range in hopes that this set will be ambitious enough to sell well and bring them a lot of money. It's more than likely that this set is one of those sets, seeing how we can already see there's a loop-the-loop in it, which is something you don't see in every Thomas set. But much like the last set, this box has lots of bold letters and bright colors to grab your attention. The front shows a 3D graphic image of the set in action with an overview of the set's layout, saying it consists of 17 pieces. Which is weird, seeing as this set is supposed to be bigger than the previous set at 16 feet long, but still contains less pieces. We also get to see the exclusive Thomas engine in this set, as well as a cargo car with its cargo piece encased on the outside of the box. Unlike the previous set, however, the top of the box gives the overview of all the set's key play points, with the back of the box being just a portrait version of the front. The sides of this box are rather interesting too. Normally there's a wall of character pictures on one of the box's sides, and they're always the same pictures. However, this time, all the pictures have been replaced with screen caps from the episode Rules of the Game, which the set is based on. On the other side, we see the standard picture of Thomas, with the graph showing all the pieces you get in the set. But now this side also carries a special label that says Fisher-Price Play Lab, Kid Tested, Expert Approved. This label must have been added to show that Fisher-Price is confident in this playset. In case you didn't know, Fisher-Price is a brand name of Mattel, and they're in charge of making toys meant for really little kids. On the bottom of the box, we have the standard safety and licensing information, as well as another look at that piece graph, the Play Lab label, and the picture of Thomas. Surprisingly, there is no set description anywhere on this box. But if we open the box in the now poorly marked Open Here section, we still get to see that picture of the main cast and another personalized message from Thomas. Okay, enough about the box. Let's get this big set built. And here is the finished set. I'll just go ahead and say that this set isn't 16 feet long like the box said. They must have meant there was 16 feet worth of track. That's a weird way to put it, but anyway. There were more stickers to put on in this set than the last one, but I think I handled them pretty well this time. Oddly, this is the third motorized set I've encountered where screwdriver assembly is required. I have mixed feelings about the new screwdriver assembly process. It makes it easier to pack the set in the smallest box possible, even if it's really big, but then putting the screws on can be a difficult process. I struggled most when applying the screws to the bottom of the loop, as the screws seemed to not want to stay in their proper holes. Outside of assembly, I was rather surprised to see this set include a collector's guide. I like these new collector's guides the recent sets have been getting, as they remind me of the guides they used to include in older Thomas sets. Strangely though, this set is featured in the guide with a coming September notice. Well, sorry to tell you, little guide, I found this set in August. Let's talk about the set's layout now. As I said earlier, this set is based on the obstacle course from the All Engines Go episode, Rules of the Game. There are several references to the course throughout this set. The set forms an oval with a siding that serves as an alternate path. First, there's a stop and go section, which acts as the start of the set. This section has a platform where you can place 2 blue crates which are included in this set. You can then put one of the crates onto Thomas's flat car and send him on his way. The section also has a checkered black and white banner, which you can place here or on the loop launcher. The banner is most likely a reference to the zigzag zone, or the zoom zoom zone, whichever one you prefer. Beyond the stop and go section, there is a small hill, which is painted green, that leads you to the loop launcher. The launcher's lever is disguised as what I assume is the Tunnel of Dreams, or the Tooting Tunnel, but it has these strips that were only present in faraway establishing shots of the obstacle course. It also has water dripping from it, making it look more like a train wash, which I don't ever remember seeing in the show. The launcher works in 2 ways. You can pull the lever to reload the launcher and send Thomas around the super duper loop-de-looper. Or you can leave it where it is, and Thomas will take a bypass through the loop instead. But don't worry too much about the loop, as Thomas can make it through very easily, as well as any other engines you put through it. Well, as long as they don't have a tender car. My biggest dislike about the launcher is how loud it is. I understand it needs a lot of force to send Thomas around the loop successfully, but did they need to make it so loud? They could have used smaller springs or something. But on the other hand, I really like the little details they put on the bottom of the launcher. Like, no one is ever going to see this stuff from the ground, so you might as well just make it flat. But they went ahead and gave it details anyway. I also like these little grippers they put on it to try and keep the launcher from kicking back on its own force. Anyway, once Thomas gets past the super duper loop-de-looper, he'll go over a small hill track, which could be a loose representation of the not so high hills. Then he'll reach a switch, where you can choose to send him over a stone bridge, which I don't think is based on any specific instance in the show, or you can send him over the mud trap. Thomas won't jump over the mud trap, however. The super duper loop-de-looper serves as the set's 1 stunt per set stunt. Instead, Carly is included in this set holding a bridge, so Thomas can cross the mud trap safely. Or, if you want to go over the stone bridge, Carly can swing her bridge section over to the missing section of the stone bridge, so Thomas can cross it safely too. Oddly, this is the second All Engines Go Motorized set that features Carly as a stationary crane. She's portrayed as a mobile crane in the show, and she even has her wheels here. It makes you wonder why they even made her a mobile crane in the first place. One detail I like about this Carly though, is how one side of her is clean, while the other side is covered in mud. This is because of the mud pit she has on her right side while she's swinging her bridge section to and fro. But with that said, this Carly can spin 360 degrees and raise her arm up and down slightly. Once Thomas gets past Carly, he returns to the stop and go section where he can put down his crate, pick up the other one, and the set repeats again. Outside of the set's main loop is a switch that leads to a set of buffers. Much like all the other motorized sets, you can remove these buffers to expand your set with more tracks. These buffers do look nice, but I'm rather disappointed by them. You see, in the prototype image for this set, you can see that a ramp was originally going to be included as the buffers. This ramp highly resembles the ramp seen at the beginning of the Rules of the Game episode, and the one seen in Thomas's day off. I guess I can see why they removed the ramp though, as it would serve as much purpose as the water ramp from that one wooden railway set. On the bright side, these buffers can be seen in the Rules of the Game episode as well. Let's talk about Thomas now. Just like in the last set, this Thomas has special details which make him exclusive to this set. His details include whooshing steam and wind line printing on his sides with rushing leaves and other bits, as well as another smiling face. Now, I get they're trying to differentiate the faces for each Thomas, but come on, this is like his 4th smiling face. How many smiling faces does one engine need? His flat car is rather interesting. Of course, it has a peg in the middle of it, so it can hold one of the 2 crates included in this set. Or it can hold one of the flags that you put on top of the super duper loop-de-looper. The car has a special red front coupling which is bulkier than any other motorized coupling I've ever seen. I'd assume this is so the car can have a better hold of Thomas's coupling so it won't come undone when it gets jerked forward by the launcher, as normal couplings can break if they're sent through it. One more interesting detail about this car is the sticker on the top. As I said earlier, this set has stickers you have to apply yourself, but one of those stickers goes on the flat car. It's a rather odd sticker as it's a picture of Thomas going around the super duper loop-de-looper. But I guess like the Thomas logo stickers signify a set piece belongs to a Thomas set, this sticker signifies this car belongs to this set. Now it's time to talk about this set's price. The retail price is $50, which is how much big sets like this normally go for. However, this set is brand new, and some other places are currently charging more than that. Official retailers are the best place to get this set right now, like Target or Amazon. $50 is a good price for this set, but I definitely wouldn't go over that. In summary, are these sets any good? Well, yes. Both sets come with a good amount of track and accessories and are very good train sets and just good kids' toys in general. It's your choice if you want to get these sets for yourself, but personally, I would gladly recommend them. I hope you found my review on these sets helpful and that it had the information you were looking for. Until next time, I'm Fan of Thomas 31. Goodbye.